Good morning, praise Yahuwah. Excuse my hair today. I did kind of just wake up. Um, I don't know if y'all can feel it, but we in some new times. Like it feels like something has changed yesterday, and like the Most High woke me up and had me to declare the fallenness of Babylon, whose name shall no more be mentioned from my mouth. And we seeking Yahuwah and all that. And then I realized some of my brothers and sisters was also making that point. No, we don't praise no name but Yahuwah. And that is speaking the truth. And now, yeah, we still have to deal with and love those who are seeking the truth and who still believe his name is something else. And we deal with them in love by praying for them, having those conversations with them when they are willing in the correct way. Yeah, and you might hear some banging outside. I don't know why. At 3 a.m, someone just decided to be outside my house, dragging stuff and doing whatever. Normally, I'll be going to go check. I don't know what be wrong with me, but yeah, I'm just peaceful. Yahuwah got me. But it is not my business. It is 3 a.m. It is 4 hours before I open my door. So, yeah. If you hear any loudness, I'm not about to get scared and not read the word of Yahuwah though. I ain't about to go back to bed because the Most High done already given. Don't go back to bed. Yahuwah done already told me read His word, and that's what I'm about to do. And my Father will handle them if they up to some mischief. Okay, I'm in the book of Enoch, chapter 72. The chapter of the revolutions. The revolutions of the luminaries of the heaven. So luminaries are stars, lights, according to their respective classes, their respective powers, and their respective periods, their respective names, the places where they commence their progress, and their receptive months, which Uriel, the holy angel who was with me, explained to me. My bad, 1 second. Sorry for all of that. The holy angel who was with me explained to me, he who conducted them, the whole account of them, according to every year of the world forever, until a new work shall be effected, which will be eternal. This is the first law of the luminaries. The sun and the light arrives at the gate of heaven, which are on the east, and on the west of it at the western gates of heaven. I beheld the gates whence the sun goes forth. He beheld the gates from which the sun comes from, and the gate where the sun sets. It's so weird. Like, there are streets near my house called Sun Gate and Moon Gate. And that's no coincidence because the Freemasons have drawn up the land, I know, throughout the United States. And most likely, I don't know everywhere else, but I know like Scotland and stuff. Because like after they were mostly destroyed, that's where they escaped to. And that's where most of their little head be at. But all throughout the world. And not just the Freemasons of today. If you read scripture, okay, so America is a straight shot by boat from Lebanon. There's no way that they didn't come here back in the day. And I'm not getting into that. This is a perfect time to bring it up. Okay, they got Easter Island. Easter Island is a straight shot from Babylon, which is today called Lebanon. Lebanon, right? I want to make sure I'm not. Oh yeah, it's in the back of my book. One second. It's a straight shot, and we know that Lebanon. That the Freemasons, that's how they they real good with their ankles and all that. And so there's also a mini Easter Island in America that is a straight shot all the way across. It's a direct line. And it is actually on the History Channel by a man named Scott Walter, who proves a lot of scriptural things. And from his discoveries, and he doesn't believe in the Most High itself. Hopefully he does come to. But from his discoveries, it looks like King Solomon led the expedition that laid Easter Island. And I'm not sure how long the one has been here in America. If that was America's founding fathers, or possibly King Solomon also. But we know in scripture, in the book of Kings, I believe, that he led some of those expeditions and did these things with his wisdom. So yeah, history, right? Read scripture. Check out Scott Walter, if the Most High leads you to. And he is a geologist, and he did not believe that America's history was true. That calling, I believe, was placed on him by the Most High, though he does not know the Most High's name yet. And he has studied all these things out and proven that America's history is a complete lie. And the things that he has discovered does prove not only the works of the enemy, but also the truth of our Father that was tried to be hid in the world. So yeah, if the Most High leads you to, check that out. If you already have scriptural knowledge, or else you're not gonna know what you're looking for. If you don't have the history of scripture within you ain't gonna know what you're looking for. You probably gonna see what he see, and he can't even see what he's discovering. He can't even fully understand it. If he had scripture in him, he would know the significance of what he has discovered. Okay. This is the first law of the luminaries. The sun and the light arrive at the gates of heaven, which are on the east and on the west of the western gates of heaven. I beheld the gate whence the sun goes forth, and the gates where the sun sets, in which gates also the moon arises and sets. When the conductors of the stars among those who precede them, 6 at the rising and 6 at the setting at the setting of the sun. All these respectively, one after another, are on a level, and numerous windows are on the right and on the left sides of those gates. First proceeds forth that great luminary which is called the sun, the orb of which is the orb of heaven, the whole of it being replete with splendid and flaming fire. Its chariot I'm so sorry. My chest is like, I don't know. Like, I had to make the decision to let the world go and seek the Most High on a deeper level. And ever since then, like, something has been going on weird with my head and chest area, I know it's the enemy and the Most High got me. Because I just randomly got like this head slash, like, lung, like, I don't know what to call it. But the Most High got me. He's just trying to, it's not the Most High is trying to test me. It's not what I was trying to say. It's just, it's a test. I don't know. It's something, it's things that we go through, but the Most High is my healer. I don't know what's going on, but I'm good. I don't trust no doctors. The Most High is my healer. And he will heal me. Where it ascends, the wind blows, the sun sets in the heaven returning by the north, to proceed towards the east is conducted so as to enter by that gate and to illuminate the face of heaven. In the same manner it goes forth in the first month by the great gate. It goes forth through the fourth of those 6 gates, which are at the rising of the sun, and in the 4th gate, from which the sun rises in the first month, there are 12 open windows from which issues out a flame. Oh, okay. Is this like little sunspots that you're trying to be talking about? When they are open, so the sunspots are windows? Wait. Okay, let me see. In the 4th gate, from which the sun rises in the first month, there are 12 open windows from which issues out flame. Okay, no, I don't say it comes directly from the sun. It comes from those 12 windows which the sun comes out of. Right, you gotta double check things. When they are open in their proper periods, when the sun rises in heaven, it goes forth through this 4th gate 30 days by the 4th gate in the west of heaven on a level with it descends. During that period, the day is lengthened from the day, and the night curdled from the night, and for 30 days, and then the day is longer by 2 parts than the night. I realize the sun has to be in a different gate right now because it's not getting light at 6:30 anymore. It's getting light at 7, so 30-minute difference. The day is precisely 10 parts and the night is 8. The sun goes forth through this 4th gate and sets in it, and turns to the 5th gate during the 30 days, after which it proceeds from and sets in the 5th gate. If anybody say the Most High can't heal you, I guess you got to see Yahuwah willing, because Yahuwah gonna heal me. I do not know what is going on, but my chest, the Most High got me. Then the day becomes lengthened by a second portion, so that it is 11 parts, while the night becomes shortened. It is only 7 parts. The sun now returns to the east, entering into the 6th gate, and rising and setting in the 6th gate, 31 days on account of its signs. At that period, the day is longer than the night, being twice the night, and become 12 parts. But the night is shortened. This is the government sitting up here talking about they gonna put an end to Daylight's daylight saving. They try to make y'all think they got so much power. Y'all better read scripture. They do not got that power. And become 6 parts. Then the sun rises up that day, that the day may be shortened and the night lengthened. They are doing these things. They're acting extremely provocatively against the Most High and against you, the people, seeing how stupid we are, basically. Seeing how stupid we are, how far they can advance, and going against the Most High because we ain't reading. But I see everything, and they out here looking like clowns. And the sun returns toward the east, entering into the 6th gate, where it rises and sets for 30 days. When that period is completed, the day becomes shortened precisely 1 part. So that is 11 parts, while the night is 7 parts. Then the sun goes forth from the west, from that 6th gate, and proceeds eastward, rising in the 5th gate for the 30 days, and setting again westward in the 5th gate of the west. At that period, the day becomes shortened 2 parts and 10 parts, and it's 10 parts. While the night is 8 parts, then the sun goes down from the 5th gate, and it sets in the 5th gate of the west, and rises in the 4th gate for 31 days on account of its signs, setting in the west. At that period, the day is made equal with the night. Being equal with it, the night becomes 9 parts, and the day 9 parts. Then the sun goes from that gate as it sets in the west, and returning to the east proceeds by the 3rd gate for 30 days, setting in the west at the 3rd gate. At that period, the night is lengthened from the day during 30 mornings, and the day is curtailed from the day during the 30 days. The night being 10 parts precisely, and the day 8. The sun now goes from the 3rd gate as it sets in the 3rd gate in the west. But returning to the east, it proceeds by the 2nd gate of the east for 30 days. In like manner also, it sits in the 2nd gate in the west of heaven. At that period, the night is 11 parts, and the day is 7 parts. Then the sun goes at that time from the 2nd gate, as it sets in the 2nd gate in the west, but returns to the east, proceeding by the 1st gate for 31 days, and sets in the west in the 1st gate. At that period, that night is lengthened as much again as the day. It is 12 parts precisely, while the day is 6 parts. That's my least favorite time. I don't like long nights. I enjoy the day. The sun has completed its beginnings, and a second time goes round from those beginnings. And to that gate it returns for 30 days, and sets in the west in the opposite part. At that period, the night is contracted, contracted in its length, a fourth part, that is, one portion. And becomes 11 parts. The day is 7 parts. Then the sun returns and enters into the second gate of the east. It returns by these beginnings 30 days, rising and setting. At that period, the night is contracted in its length. It becomes 10 parts, and the day 8 parts. Then the sun goes from that second gate and sets in the west, but returns to the east and rises in the east. Then the sun goes from that second gate and sets in the west, but returns to the east and rises in the east, in the third gate. "31 days setting in the west of heaven. At that period, the night becomes shortened." Praise Yahweh. "It is 9 parts, and the night is equal with the day. The year precisely 364 days. Hold on. 364 days. Okay, yeah, I thought so. So Yahuwah created 364 days. But man has added a day, right? And so our calendars are extremely off balance because that one day do a lot. 365 days. There are only 364 days in a year. Right? It says people ask, is there 364? Why would people precisely ask, are there 364? Because there are 364, and Satan has snuck a day up in there. The lengthening of the day and night and the contraction of the day and night are made to differ from each other by the progress of the sun. By means of this progress, the day is daily lengthened, and the night is greatly shortened. This is the law and progress of the sun, and its turning when it turns back. So he's trying to mess up all the laws of the Most High. So now we don't gotta observe the laws of the stars anymore. We could just change that. We gotta study, y'all. You can't just be believing what people be telling you. Turning during 60 days and going forth. This is the great everlasting luminary, that which he names the sun forever and ever. This also is that which goes forth, a great luminary, and which is the name after its peculiar kind, as Yahuwah Elohim commanded. And thus it goes in and out, neither slacking nor resting, but running on in its chariot by day and by night. Its light is 7 times brighter than that of the moon, but it diminishes of both are equal, but the dimensions of both are equal. So that means they're the same in size. Okay. Chapter 73. I'm going to try to read everything that's about the stars so that when I pick back up, um, we're on the next topic. Chapter 73. After this law, I beheld another law of the inferior luminary, singular, not. Somebody selling something out. The name of which is the moon, and the orb of which is the orb of heaven. Its chariot secretly ascends. The wind blows, and the light is given to it by measure. Every month, at its exit and entrance, it becomes changed. And its periods are as the periods of the sun. And when the moon is full, its light is a seventh portion from the light of the sun. Thus it rises, and at its commencement toward the east goes forth for 30 days. At that time it appears and becomes to you the beginning of month. 30 days with the sun in the gate from which the sun goes forth. Half of it is on the extent, 7 portions. Father Yahuwah, please be with me. And the whole of its orb is void of light, except the 7th portion out of the 14 portions of light. In a day it receives the 7th portion, or half of its light. Its light is by sevens, by 1 portion, and by the half it sets with the sun. And when the sun rises, the moon rises with it. That's beautiful. Praise Yahweh. Receiving half a portion of light. On that night, when it commences its period, previously to the day of the month, the moon sets with the sun. And on that night it is dark, 14 portions, that is half, but it rises on that day with 1/7 portion precisely, and in its progress declines from the rising of the sun. During the remainder of its period, the light increases to 14 portions. Chapter 74. Then I saw another progress and regulation which he effected in the law of the moon, the progress of the moon in everything. Uriel showed me, the holy angel who conducted them all. Their stations I wrote down as he showed them to me. I wrote down their months as they occur, and the appearance of their light until it is completed in 15 days. In each of its 2 7 portions, it completes all its lights at rising and at setting. on stated months, it changes settings, and on stated months, it makes its progress on each. Into the moon sets, with the sun. In those two gates, which are in the midst of the third and fourth gate, it goes forth for 7 days and makes its circuit. Again it returns to the gate whence the sun goes forth, and in that completes the whole of its light. Then it declines from the sun and enters in the eighth day into the sixth gate, from which the sun goes forth. When the sun proceeds to the fourth gate, it goes forth for 7 days until it passes from the fifth. Again it returns in 7 days to the fourth gate, in completing all its light, declines and passes on by the first gate in 8 days. It returns in 7 days to the fourth gate, from which the sun goes forth. Thus I beheld their stations, as according to the fixed order of the months of the sun rises and sets. At those times there is an excess of 30 days belonging to the sun in 5 years. All the days belonging to each year of the 5 years, when completed, amount to 364 days, and to the sun and stars belong 6 days. 6 days in each of the 5 years. 30 days belong to them, so that the moon has 30 days less than the sun and stars. The moon brings on all the years exactly, that their stations may come neither to forwards nor backwards a single day, but that the years may be changed with correct precision in 364 days. In 3 years, the days are 1,092. In 5 years, they are 1,820. In 8 years, 2,912 days. To the moon alone belong in 3 years 1,062 days. So I guess if you're counting by the moon, I think this is what this is saying. And I'm not too sure because I don't fully understand this portion of scripture. But from like what I think it's saying. So yeah, study on your own, because this portion always I understand a little bit. In 5 years, it has 50 days less for an addition being made to the 62 days. In 5 years, there are 1,770 days. And the days of the moon in 8 years, the days of the moon in 8 years are 2,832 days. For its day in the 8 years are less 80 days. With 80 days, which 80 days are its diminution, diminution. in 8 years. The year then becomes truly complete according to the station of the moon. The station of the sun, which rises in the gates, which rise and set in them for 30 days. Okay. And we are going to end it there. I'm going to jump back in, y'all willing, at chapter 75? At chapter 75 in a little bit.